Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, children of all ages, welcome to Robert Sports Show. I'm your host, Robert. Alright, NASCAR Xfinity Series, Kansas Lottery 300 from Kansas Motor Speedway International, whatever it's called, Kansas Raceway. Alright, what an Xfinity Series race we had at Texas. I know some people didn't like it, but I actually enjoyed it. We had John Hunter coming through the field. We had strategy, 2 tires versus 4 versus no tires. Came from 6th to, so you got it from what, 18th to 6th, and then came in for the 2-tire stop. Got out in the lead, kept the lead, won. Amazing job. I did pick it here on Robert Sports Show. I thought it was a cool race. Some of you may not like it, but you know what? Our points got really shuffled up. 3 races left. 2 races, we get to 4. We go to Phoenix, Kansas, and Martinsville. As we look at the round of 8, again, 1 race down, not a non-playoff winner, John Hunter Nemechek. So now we have 8 drivers going 4 positions, and only 2 will go on wins, 2 will go on points. So right now in 8th place, 32 points below the cut line, Brandon Jones. Brandon Jones has ran well in a mile and a half. Hasn't ran well in the mile and a half in 2021. 13.8 average finish. At Kansas, it's either all or nothing for him. In his 4 Kansas races, he's had 2 wins. He's still got an average finish of 11.75. So those non-wins aren't great finishes. So it's either all or nothing for him, and he's a minus 32. It's all or nothing. You either got to win Kansas or Martinsville, or you're out of the playoffs. He is returning to Joe Gibbs Racing in 2022. That was announced over the weekend, which is great to hear. Looks like he'll be full-time along with Ty Gibbs, and whomever will be in either the 3rd full-time car or they'll have the All-Star car. 7th in points, we know is not returning to Joe Gibbs Racing, Harrison Burton, minus 21. On the mile and a half this year, he's 12.9 average finish. In 3 races at Kansas, he's averaged a 16th. I don't think Harrison Burton is going to be able to pull off to make the playoffs. Can he win at Martinsville? Yeah, and he can win here, but he's not running well in these mile and a halves. We'll see what Martinsville does next week, but right now I don't think he's not making the Final 4. Justin Haley minus 6. He's one of my favorites to make the Final 4. He's one of my picks. On the mile and a half this year, Justin Haley is 9.7 average finish. He is currently, of all the playoff drivers, he ranks 6th on the best finish for. Or sorry, nope, not that. He is 3rd on the best average finish on the mile and a half in 2021 with 9.7. At Kansas, in 3 races, he's averaged 5.6. Not bad at all. So with that, he may be able to point his way to a Final 4 where I predicted he would be. 5th in points after a 2nd place finish at Texas, Daniel Hemrick minus 2. Who knew finishing 2nd to your teammate? That's what makes even the All-Star car. Finishing 2nd to your teammate who's not even in the playoffs, where if you would have won, you would have clinched your way to the Final 4. That's what you love and hate about the playoffs, is this scenario right here. A non-playoff driver wins the race who happens to be your teammate. But you know what? Congratulations again to John Hunter Nemechek. Joe Gibbs Racing at 54 All-Star car. 10 wins this year for that team. And Chris Gale is the crew chief. But here's the thing about Daniel Hemrick. In the last 4 races, 5th, 4th, 3rd, 2nd. He's got a trend. Is the trend in up in first? Because that would be really awesome. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. But minus 2 at the mile and a half this year. 11.3 average finish. At Kansas, 3 races, averaged 3.67. So he's got a shot. We know next year he will be over at Colic Racing. I think it's kind of neat where you went from last year as a part-time driver at Junior Motorsports, got that full-time ride at Joe Gibbs, a Tier 1 Xfinity team. Next year's going over to another Tier 1 Xfinity team in Colic Racing. I think he's found his. He needs. I think he needs a long-term deal. He needs to be in the Xfinity Series until a top-tier Cup ride is available. All right, right now in the 4N, Noah Gregson +2. Noah Gregson in the mile and a half this year, 8.9 average finish, 1 win. Let's see. Looks like I didn't write down his Kansas totals because he is technically +2. I think he does have that win at Darlington, so he's won at the mile and a halves. Hopefully he can just maintain where he's at. And where did he finish last week? I didn't write that down. Let me pull that up here. But I do believe he's returning to Junior Motorsports next year, which is awesome. Yeah, because I think everybody's returning to Junior Motorsports. Noah Gregson. He finished third last week. So yeah, the last 2 mile and a halves, third. He won at Darlington. And he was third at Atlanta. So yeah, I mean, he's ran well at these mile and a halves. So yeah, he's definitely in a position where he can just run well, get a good finish, get some states points, and then be able to move forward. Justin Allgaier sitting third. He's +4. Justin Allgaier in a mile and a half this year, the best 8.0 average finish, 2 wins. Allgaier was 4th last week, 2nd at Vegas in the first race of the playoffs. He had a 4th at Richmond, a 4th at Bristol, which will help him in Martinsville. In the spring, Allgaier was 9th, Noah Gregson was 2nd. If you look at Phoenix, Justin Allgaier was 8th, but Noah Gregson was 39th. So yeah, if Noah makes it to the Final Four, can he rebound from that? His worst finish of the year was where the championship will be. Sitting second in points, Austin Cindric +26. He's got an average finish of 10.1 on the mile and a half this year. He finished 5th at Texas, 4th at Vegas, 3rd at Darlington. So he has ran well in the mile and a halves. 4th at Vegas earlier in the year, 5th at Homestead. Just no wins, but he has some solid finishes. 2nd at Charlotte. So yeah, he had a lot of top tier finishes. Kansas, again, a mile and a half. Martinsville in the spring he was 6th, and at Phoenix he won. So definitely, if he's one of the Final Four, which I do predict he will be, and then Justin Allgaier is the other one. I had I had Justin Haley, Justin Allgaier, Austin Cindric, and then of course the points leader right now, AJ Allmendinger, who's +30, who had 6th place at Texas, 7th at Vegas. He did win at Vegas earlier in the year, 5th at Atlanta, 13th at Martinsville. He's +30 points, so he should be safe. He had a 5th place at Phoenix. So yeah, I mean, he is right there on all types of tracks. So good for him, +30. Those wins did pay off this year with him. Now, when it comes to the win, obviously that 54 car, Ty Gibbs was in it this week. 10th place finish, average finish on the mile and a half with 1 win. Now, one thing neat with the Xfinity Series is since you do have multiple drivers in that 54 car, there's a car owners championship on the line. Right now, that 54 car is sitting 3rd. They are 11 points behind the Colleague Racing 16. The thing is, the reason they're behind, the 54 Joe Gibbs Toyota, when it uses Cup drivers, we're talking Kyle Busch, Martin Truex Jr., Christopher Bell, are ineligible for bonus points. So they're not getting the bonus points for the victories like when John Hunter won, like when Ty Gibbs wins. So that is why they're not leading with all those wins. But yeah, I mean, Ty Gibbs this year, where's the kid at here? He finished 11th at Vegas. He finished, find the other mile and a half he was at. Charlotte, he was 1 Charlotte. He 4th at Martinsville, 2nd at Phoenix. So yeah, I mean, the next 3 races, he could definitely be a spoiler. I mean, he could take wins away from these championship teams. So we have 300 miles at Kansas, 200 laps, 3 stages, 45, 45, and 110. As we've seen at Texas, strategy. Between 2 tires, 4 no tires. Now, in the last 14 Xfinity races at Kansas, Joe Gibbs has won 10, which is just an astronomical stat to really look at. 10 of the 14 races, last 14 have been won by Joe Gibbs Racing. Now, last year there was 2 races. The July race, which was won by Brandon Jones, and then in 2019, Brandon Jones also won. And then Stuart Haas won the October race, which was won by Chase Briscoe. John Hunter won his first career win at this track, driving for Chip Ganassi 2019. And then you had Christopher Bell get a victory, and Kyle Busch, Matt Kenseth, and Logano for Joe Gibbs. Now, those Joe Gibbs cars. We know Daniel Hemrick's running well here. Ty Gibbs is one on the mile and a halves. Ty Gibbs, the 54 is the only Xfinity team for Joe Gibbs to win in 2021, which was an amazing stat to hear. So I'm doing my picks just a little different this week. As much as I want to say driver A, B, and C, sometimes you might have 2 or 3 drivers from an organization that may win. You know, this year I'm 15-15 on my picks for the Xfinity Series, 13-20 for the Cup, 7-13 on the truck, and then 3-0 in the ARCA. It's just hard, you know. Much as I wanted to say, you know, Joe Gibbs and Junior Motorsports, flat out, just there you go. Joe Gibbs, Junior Motorsports. That's 6 drivers. So actually, that's 8 drivers technically, because there's 4 and 4. Instead of doing that, I'm gonna go against my best wishes here. We're gonna say Justin Allgaier, Daniel Hemrick, Austin Cindric. Those are my 3 picks. So I was going to do just Junior Motorsports, Joe Gibbs Racing. I changed my mind on that. I'm just going to go with my 3 picks to win. Justin Allgaier, Daniel Hemrick, Austin Cindric. And then one of those will lock their way into the Final 4. And then next week, oh boy, Martinsville. Cannot wait. I think it's going to be a fun championship races. Next week at Martinsville, we'll have Truck Series, Xfinity, and Cup. And then at Phoenix, we'll have all 3. Phoenix will have practice and qualifying. So that ought to change everything. So yeah, so can't wait. So that is the preview of the Kansas Lottery 300 NASCAR Xfinity Series race at Kansas Motor Speedway. With the 3 picks to win, Justin Allgaier, Daniel Hemrick, and Austin Cindric. As always, thanks for watching the Robert Sports Show. And don't just have a great day. Have a spiffy day. Robert Sports Show, your YouTube leader in sports channel content.